Hello. Hi, Demitra. Hi, anybody. I am laying down right now. So, yeah, I'm just chilling right now. So, today is my daughter's birthday. She turned 3 years old. She was born 4/21/21. And, every time when I be thinking about that, I think of that Method Man song. Well, the title of a song called The Day After 4/20. So, yeah, she turned 3. Yay, I have a 3-year-old little girl. God, she's asleep right now. I think everybody is asleep. What time is it? The time is 8:33. Oh, orientation block. What is it? Oh. Oh, because I turned my phone. Okay, I ain't trying to. Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. What in the? Rotate on device back. What are you talking about? I just wanted to check the time. What is this on my phone? Okay, it's gone. All right. So, anyways, so me just the night is just about ending. So I'm just laying down. So I'm just reflecting on some stuff, just thinking about some stuff, and being that I gave birth 3 years ago today to my daughter. Oh my goodness, that story is. I mean, all of my children's birth. Stories are like wow, has some funniness to it, like all of it. And of course, maybe a lot of y'all mothers out there, y'all birth stories with y'all children, it's probably like funny as well too. Like I'm talking about the day of the birth, like when y'all start having contractions and like start from there. Like, oh yeah, started having contractions, this happened, that happened, I went to the hospital, I didn't make it to the hospital, I did this, I did that. So I'm quite sure a lot of people have stories, about mothers, women who gave birth to children, and hopefully all children, that y'all gave birth to was is healthy, came out healthy, healthy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Not healthy, not thick. I mean, your baby can come out thick, but healthy. Goodness, man, I don't know what's going on. All right, but anyways, okay. So what I want to talk about is the time when I almost signed a contract, a deal, okay, to not have any more children. And this is before I had my daughter. So for me, everything is deeper than a surface level. Like, like if I tell regular people who don't really understand me, like, well, yeah, well, the story that I'm about to tell anyway. Like some of y'all might be like, okay, you didn't sign the contract. That if you were to have signed it, that wouldn't mean anything. You still would have got pregnant. That don't mean anything. But to me, what I know, if I would have fully signed that paper stating that, I agreed to not have any more children, this is before my daughter. So this, I'm talking about after I had my youngest son, Melvin. If I would have agreed to sign that document, like signed the document, and I guarantee you, my daughter would not be here. Even if I didn't go through with the procedure, it still would have been some kind of complications because of who I am. And this is how the story went. So my youngest son Melvin, I had him in 2014. He was due. His due date was in 2015. So I'll be making jokes like, yeah, my son came a year early. But yeah, his due date with him was 1/11 2015. That was my son's due date, 1/11/2015. But I had him 12/19/14 at, look, the time said 4:56. I had him at 4:56 a.m. Okay, 4:56 a.m. at Mercy Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland. And and real quick, this is a side note since I'm talking about mercy, like bring up the word mercy. When when Melvin, my son, when he was probably about a week old or so, my son before him, Solomon, was with his dad for like a whole week because I was in the hospital for a couple of days. Everything was fine, it was fine with him. He was called a late term preterm because he was technically like premature, but when they did all the premature tests on him, he passed. So it was just like, oh well, he came out when he's supposed to come out. Even though he came out a little early, but he's passing all these tests, so he's good. So yeah, so he came out when he's supposed to come out, just like a lot of, if you hear technically you came out when you're supposed to came out. I guess I don't know. I know that's what with my children. But anyways, so so he, what was I talking about? He came out at 456. Oh yeah, so my son before that, Solomon, he was what, 2.5 years old or so at the time. And so I had him, Solomon, 09/01/2012. So September 1st, 2012. And his due date was 9/11. Solomon, his due date was 9/11, but I had him September 1st, 2012. But anyways, when it was my week to get Solomon, pick him up from daycare, after being, in the hospital the regular time, like 2 nights or so. And, I went to go get Solomon. I had Melvin with him. So this is his first time seeing his baby brother. Mind you, Melvin, he's a baby. He was like, I don't know, I'm gonna say like a week old. He's tiny, in his car seat. So I went inside the daycare to go get Solomon. And, so all the teachers and, the counselors, at the daycare center was like, oh my goodness, you had the baby. You had him. I was like, yeah. So they came over to the car seat, I had the car seat on the floor. So they came over, was like, oh, he is so cute. Like, oh my goodness, so small, so tiny. How you see the little cute little babies. So they came and got Solomon. They was like, Solomon, your mommy's here, whatever. So when Solomon seen Melvin in the car seat, Melvin still in the car seat, and the teachers and counselor, whoever, was like, oh, Solomon, who is this? Who is that? They finally like asked him, like, hey, who is that? Who did your mommy bring? So Solomon said, baby Jesus. Oh, and then look, what is this? A commercial? Let me turn this down. And then the commercial, the lady on the commercial talking about he's here. Oh, let me turn. This is commercial. What in the world? Okay, so yeah, so yeah, so Solomon was like baby Jesus, and everybody was laughing. Well, they did like the chuckle, and I was laughing too, like like laughing a little bit. But then I'm like, you know what? Y'all never know. I stopped laughing. I was like, you know what? Y'all never know. Like, hey, could be. And then so they was like, huh? And then, they stopped laughing too. Because, it was cute. How Solomon was like, yeah, baby Jesus. They wasn't laughing like, oh, yeah, right. They was laughing in the sense of, oh, like, baby Jesus, like that. And as I was like, you never know. So fast forward to now, but okay, getting back to what I was saying about the contract and about yeah, signing it. So anyways, after I had Melvin, in 2014, you can say this was probably when I get my 6 week. Well, whenever I got my 6 week checkup, my doctor, this is Mercy Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland. Mercy Hospital, it's like a religious hospital. I think it's Catholic. And I think they practice Catholicism, Catholic, cat, ca- Catholicism, Catholicism, Catholicy. They Catholic. They like a Catholic hospital. So so yeah, during my 6 week checkup or after my six, 6 week checkup or whatever, my doctor was like, well, what are your birth control? Like, did you think about birth control methods and stuff like that? So I was like, well, I don't want to do no pills because I tell you, I done been on pills since I was, and this is on and off, so this wasn't like straight, like, duh, I do got 5 children, but but I started, yeah, I'm gonna say that I started birth control when I was 15 years old. When I was 15 years old, and needless to say, the first person that I like truly, technically, quote unquote, had intercourse with, sex with, was my oldest two children's dad. Like my oldest two sons, they by the same person. And me and him knowing each other since we were 11 years old in the 6th grade in Mr. Duncan's class. So, needless to say, we kept in touch, whatever, whatever. So, 15 years old, both of us was each other's first, quote unquote, and you know, that was it. So, I was like 15 years old. So, we was using protection, whatever. So, ever since I was 15, using protection and being on birth control pills. So, so yeah, that's how I've been like from like straight 15, 16, 17. When I joined the military, they was like, well, we don't need that because you don't supposed to be intimate with anybody anyway. But they gave us, I think my doctor, because I think I was supposed to be gone for like a couple of months. I don't know, but basically, I've been on birth control for a while, and I'm talking about different kinds of birth control, like the pills, different name brands. They was like the generic name brand, the regular name brand, and having insurance, whatever. Like the generic name brand was like free, but if you buy like get the actually product, the the generic name brand was free. Okay, generic birth control was free. But the real one, I guess, quote unquote, real one, I think I had to pay like $3. So it was like, okay, get the real one and pay $3, with the insurance, or just get it for free, get the generic one for free. I think I was getting mine for free. Like I didn't even want to pay the $3. But I don't even know made a difference or not. I don't know. But I think eventually I started paying the $3 one of these years. But going moving fast forward back to 2015. Okay, so 2015, went to my 6 week checkup. The doctor was like, hey, what are your plans for birth control? Yada yada yada, family planning. What are you thinking? And I'm like, well, I don't want to take no birth control pills because I've been on it on and off since I was 15, and like I'm just busy. Like I can't take that sucker every excuse me, like I don't want to, or like my mind, or just I'd be so busy to take it every day at the same time. Like that's what birth control is. You got to take that pill every day at the same time. So I'm just like, I don't want to do that because throughout the years, I miss a day. Throughout the years, I would miss a day, or I just wouldn't take it. I was just like, I don't feel like taking these birth control pills, or it'd be late by the time I remember, like I'm laying down, in the bed, and I'm like, oh my goodness, did I take my birth control today? And then I'm just like, I do not feel like getting up. So I'm like, well, I'll take two, or when I get up, I'll take one, the one that I missed for the day. And then later on, I'll take my original one, that day. And I think that's what the instructions said too, or probably said take both of them at the same time. I forgot. It's been years, y'all. So, anyways, I was like, I don't feel like doing a birth control thing. Like, no, I'm good with that. And then that's the pills. And then also throughout the years, I had the depot shot. The depot shot was something that I got, in the thigh. I had to go to the doctor, I think like every 3 months, and he would, get the needle and whatever, and I got to shoot the sperm in my thigh. I mean, in my butt cheek, not my thigh, in my butt cheek. Y'all know I'm talking about whoever had that the depot shot. So I think I was doing that after I had my second son. Yeah, and then with that, okay, with the depot shot, sure enough, after I had my second son, and I was like, I don't want to take no pills. And plus, I don't like taking pills. I don't care how small it is. I'm just like, ugh, I don't like taking no pills. But so when I got the double shot. This is after my second son, okay? And my second son, 3907. So he was born 3907 at PG County Hospital in Maryland. So I started taking the double shot. So I think after a year, my doctor was like, well, it's mandatory or it's recommended. He ain't say mandatory. He says recommended, like for women who's been on a double shot for over a year to go get a bone density test. So, to make sure your bones is good or whatever. So I'm like, well, what is that? What's a bone density test? And he was like, yeah, it's like a machine they use to like measure your bone and make sure your calcium in the bone is like healthy, is good levels or something or whatever like that. But he was like, he said, yeah, and if they not, you got fractured bones, like whatever. But he was like, you don't got nothing to worry about. You young. And I was like in my 20s. I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna just say, what was that 3907, 2007? I don't even know how old I was, but I think I was in my 20s. Yeah, I had to have been in my 20s. Because he was like, you don't got nothing to worry about. Normally, oh, he said something about osteoporosis. He was like, normally, it'd be older women, who's on a depot shot who probably got like a higher risk of getting osteoporosis from the depot shot. But you're active, you good. Like you don't have nothing to worry about, but you gotta still, recommend to still take this bone density test, get your bones tested. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I went to the place or whatever, and I got the test done. I don't know, I guess sometime later got the results or whatever. Why did I second say I got osteoporosis? I was like, what? And I was like, my doctor talking about, I'm young, I don't got nothing to worry about. And then so when he went to him to get the results and whatever, or like they told something, not even a lady told me there, and then said that your doctor would have the full report, something. But, and I forgot what that test consists of. I know I had to lay down and then I forgot. I know I laid down somewhere on a cot and the lady had this machine going around my body, taking pictures and clamping my arms and my legs or something, like pinching it with a little thing. Something like that. I think that's what it was. But anyways, my test results came back that my bones are thinning, so I need more calcium. So I'm like, okay, cool. Why my phone feel hot? What percentage I'm on? 58%? What in the world? Oh, I need to get my charger. But so I'm like, doctor, you got some explaining to do. But no, but he was explaining to me. He was like, "Oh, well, okay, it's okay. It's nothing to worry about. You're still young. You just got to be careful. So you just know that if you fall, on something, you can break a bone easily and this and that. But that hasn't happened, so you're good. But you got to take some calcium." So he recommended that I take some Vita Chews. When I say, and I was working at CVS at the time, and I remember I was stocking up on them things. They came in like the purple box, and I was trying to drink more milk because I wasn't drinking milk like that, but I was trying to drink, have more milk in my system. But I sure enough was taking them Vita Chews. They had different flavors. And then CVS was actually having them on sale every so often. And then plus I get like a discount since I worked there. But I was buying them Vita Chews. And I think I just supposed to take one a day or whatever. And then I had to take some iron because I still gotta do the iron thing. 'Cause I be eating ice a lot, and I already know I got deficiency. My iron is low, my blood is low. So many people taking blood from me, like spiritually and everything. Like, ugh, we want your blood. Demitra got that blood, got that good blood. Like, okay, y'all, damn. But so yes, I had to take some Vita Chews. So I was doing that, for a while, and so yeah, I mean, I don't do that now, but mm, oh, well, I thought that. Okay, so sorry, let me get back comfortable. Actually, dang it, I still gotta get up and get my charger. Okay, I get it when it's like 30%. It's 56. It's still, hopefully I don't probably won't be on that long, but I'll get it in a few minutes. But anyways, so was eating them Vita Chews, fine, whatever. And I also was taking some calcium pills. So doing that for like a good couple of months, everything cool. I ain't get my bones tested again. That was the first and only time. So I'm just like, whatever, I'm good. So fast forward to, what was I talking? Yeah, so I'm talking about birth control. So 2015, the doctor at Mercy Hospital, when he asked, this is after I had my son Melvin, when he asked me, so what are your options for, not options, like what are you decided for birth control method, family planning? So I was like, well, I don't want to do birth control because I told him, I've been on it since 15, on and off, took different kinds, this and that or whatever. And I know I just can't take it every day at the same time. So no, no for that. That's too much more things that I have to think about, no. So he was like, okay, well, how about the shot? So I was telling him my experience about the shot. No, I got osteoporosis from the shot. Now the shot I like because what happened because yeah, I didn't have to worry about it. I think I went every 3 months. So it was like a 3 month, you get a shot in your butt cheek on the side of your cheek and you good for 3 months. Like whatever. That was cool. And I ain't gonna say, did I gain weight? I mean, I put on a few pounds, but it was like a good thick weight. It wasn't sloppy fat weight. It was like, okay, a good decent weight. Like I wore my weight like decently, if that makes sense. I wore it good. So it was fine. Like I ain't no problem with gaining weight or losing weight. It was just like, a decent weight for me anyway. So I was like, no depot shot. So then, what else he was saying? Yeah, he was saying something like that goes in your arm. It's like a needle that they insert in your arm and you keep it there and whatever, whatever. And I was like, oh no, I don't want nothing injected in my arm. I don't want them needles stuck in my arm. I'm like, what if something happened? I'm trying to take it out and I'm just looking at my arm and there's something there. Like, no, I will pass on that. Like, I didn't even think about it. Like, no, that's a no go. And then he mentioned the patches. Now, I don't even know if all this stuff is still out there. Well, I'm quite sure the pills are still out there. Well, I'm quite sure all this might be still out there. They probably upgraded some stuff. But he mentioned the patches. And it was like, you wear the birth control patch like near your hip, like in front area or something. I think that's where you wear it at. Where's the birth control patches? And so I was like, no, because I'm like, I don't want nobody to be saying that like that, like, no. That was a no go too. I was just like, no, I ain't even think about that again. Like, I ain't doing no patches. No, no offense to anybody who did any of this stuff. Like, it just wasn't for me. The patches or the thing in the arm, it was just not for me. I understand. Everybody had their own reasons why they, whatever route that us women choose to go. That's fine. I'm not down to any of that. But for me, the needle in my arm that's like vibrating or that's supposed to be putting fluid inside me that's in my arm that I can feel and see. No, not for me. And then having the patches, a patch on me, gotta stay on me every week or supposed to last for a week and gotta change it and, it's noticeable on your body. I mean, like, no, not for me neither. So I'm just like, you know. So then he was like, "Well, we have a what is it? I think it's an IUD. I believe that's what it's called, like a T shape." So he said it's two kinds. Yeah, I'm gonna call it the IUD because I think that's what it is. He says two kinds. I think it's one. I could be wrong. Please don't people be quoting me like, "Oh, she said this and it's wrong." If I said it wrong, then correct me. That's fine. He said one is copper. It's like a T shape. One is copper, and then the other one I believe was plastic. I believe that's what he said. And so one is copper and the other one is plastic. And I believe the copper one, COO copper, how you spell copper? COPPER. I believe that one was like one of the original ones. And then they started making it into plastic, I believe. And he said that that T shape, the IUD, is inserted into your, I guess, your vagina. It's inserted into your vagina and it stays there, like, and it's a string, like you don't supposed to feel it. You don't feel it. The doctor inserted, I think, where your uterus at, somewhere. It goes back there somewhere, and you don't supposed to feel it. It don't supposed to be easily to come out, and it is like a thin little tiny string that when a doctor wants to pull it out, they just do something and they can grab hold to it and it will come out like a tampon. But this thing goes further up than a tampon, and it's a T-shaped thing. So I'm like, I think I would try that one, the plastic one, not the copper one, but the other one. So he was like, okay, cool. So this is after, who is this? This after Melvin. Was this after Melvin? Yeah, because after AJ, when I found I had osteoporosis, I stopped taking the depot shot and I went back to the pills. I went back to the pills. So yeah, and then when like, of course, I have 5 children, so I wasn't straight every year, every day, every month on the pill. I had some breaks. I took my breaks, but with the insert, the IUD inside your uterus or something where it go. Yeah, I had that after Melvin. Yeah, I had that after Melvin. But before I get to that, let me get to no, let me finish this, and then I'm gonna get to the paperwork, the contract. So yeah, I'm gonna finish talking about this, the IUD. So I was like, I'll go with the IUD. He was like, all right, cool, fine. Inserted the IUD. Everything was fine. And then, so this was probably a couple of months after I had Melvin. Yeah, like a couple of months after I had my son. So, I got my period, everything fine, using well, I don't even think I was using tampons till like about 4 months later because I was using pads. It was just like, okay, no, I was using tampons. Now, when did I go back to work? Listen, I know I was using pads for like a majority of the time because I didn't go back to work until like the until I used up my whole like leave of absence for giving birth with Melvin with my son because he got sick and he had to be on a Buterol and he just kept coughing and had to get on some medicine and like all that. And this is after he left the hospital, like, I don't know, like a month, no, like 3 weeks after he left the hospital or so, he started coughing. But, gave him some medicine for the cold. And mind you, it is like wintertime, wintertime kind of stuff. But he good. He just had to be on the Buterol machine. What did you call that? The nebulizer machine. So that helped. That helped. But anyways, I think I used up my whole time. Like, how they say you got to go back to work 6 weeks when you have a vagina birth, and then 8 weeks if you have a C-section. But I ain't go back to work until like 12 weeks. Excuse me. He ain't go back to week. I ain't go back to work until 12 weeks or whatever. So, anyways, so I was even using pads or tampons, one or the other, when I was getting my periods back. But anywho, once I got that depot, not the depot, once I got that thing inserted in me, the IUD inside of me, I'm gonna say a couple of months later, got my period and I was using tampons. And I was working at the time. Yeah, I think I went back to work by this time. But I was using tampons, no problem with that. Never had a problem with tampons, everything fine. But then I remember for some reason, like a tampon was, I can't explain it. One time I had poured a tampon. I know this might be too too much information, but I had pulled a tampon out of me one day, and then I'm wiping myself or whatever, and then I felt the like part of the IUD. And I'm like, what the heck is this? What I think it is? So then yes, I do got my finger inside of me while I'm bleeding. So I'm like pushing it back in, like trying to push it back up because I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like, I guess I just push it back up. So I'm pushing it back up. Everything cool. I didn't put no more tampons in me after that. It was like pads. So pass. And then so when I pushed it back up, I'm like, okay, good. I don't feel it. So I started, like walking around the bathroom. I'm like, okay, I don't feel it. So it's back in the spot, back where it's supposed to be. Cool. Put on a pad. I'm like, I ain't messing with these tampons. Let me just use the pads or whatever. So everything is fine. So I think a couple of days later, I felt it like coming down. Long story short, I was in the bathroom and I end up just holding my leg up and then, like just taking it out of me because it basically was damn near hanging out of me anyway. And this is the IUD. Like I felt it right in my vagina. Like it was there. So I just basically like took it out of me and I'm like, what in the heck? So then in my mind, I'm like, I can call the doctor and let them know like they have to put this thing back in. But at the same time, I'm like, this happened for a reason. I'm like, for one, I don't want to take no time off of work to go to a doctor to have them put this back in when it might come back out. And number two, I'm like, this obviously happened for a reason because honestly, like, I'm like a natural kind of a person anyway, like when it comes to that. But, of course, you got to be safe. But just overall for me, like far as taking pills or taking anything to prevent pregnancy, I mean condoms is fine. Condoms fine, cool. But far as taking any kind of other method, it was like a no go for me. But I'm in the mindset of okay, I don't really want, any more children at this time. And if I am being intimate with somebody, condoms is cool, but I do like the real feeling, but it's like, So the natural feeling. So it was like, but yeah, I took that thing out of me, and I'm like, I ain't calling the doctor to put it back in. I'm like, it is what it is. Like I'll just use protection. And I think at the time I wasn't even having sex with nobody anyway. So it was just like, hey, you know, it was just like something, that wasn't even utilized, because I wasn't even intimate with anybody. It wasn't planning on being intimate with anybody. So So I was like, all right, leave it as it is. And so that was it for that. So I was like, I'm not doing the IUD again. I'm not doing a depot shot. I'm not doing birth control pills. I'm done with with the birth control stuff. Not being intimate, no way. I just use condoms, whatever. So fast forward to October of no, this is what I was talking about the contract. Was this done with the contract? I'm trying to think because I know I end up taking back birth control. Because okay, let me just get this out the way while I'm thinking about it. So October of 2015, okay, a couple of months before my son Melvin turned 1, I started back being intimate, whatever. So the guy was like, hey, birth control, yada yada yada. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'll do the birth control thing. So I started taking birth control in October of 2015. Took it until December. So yeah, oh my goodness, this happened around the same year. Wow, I just realized that. Because a year later, I did the same thing. Okay, so let me talk this out. October 2015, I started taking the pills, the birth control pills. Okay, October 25th of, blah, blah. October 2015, started taking the pills. That lasted until about, I'm going to say January of the beginning of the following year. Okay, until January of the following year, I stopped taking birth control pills. Okay, so I started taking it back in October because, like I said, I started, sleeping, started doing the do again. And when I was taking them, my face, that's what it is. My face, my cheeks started breaking out. Like I had like decent, smooth skin. It wasn't like perfect and flawless or anything, but it was, didn't have as much dark spots as it do now and dents as it do now. When I say, oh my freaking goodness, when I say my face broke out, my face freaking broke out on both sides. I was going to work and I had band-aids like on my freaking face, y'all. I had so freaking, it was like embarrassing. I was in my mind like I do not want to go to work today, but I'm like I don't want to go to work because my face is freaking bleeding. Man, it was just like, oh my goodness, just thinking about it. And I had like bumps, big bumps, tiny bumps all over my face. I had dents, and then like I would be like rubbing my face and it would start bleeding. So I got to put like a band-aid on, some tissue on my face. And it was just like, oh my goodness. So I'm like, I'm like, F this. And it didn't start happening until like a month after I was, started taking the pill. So October, I was fine. November, I started seeing my face breaking out. So I was just like, okay, let me use some face cream, let me start using some Neutrogena, let me, whatever, get some acne, face wash or something, started doing that in November, thinking it would get better. It kind of did, but it didn't. By the time December came, that man, even my son' first birthday. Okay, the picture. I was like, I do not want to take no pictures. Mind you, it's his first birthday. A lot of people came to his grandma's house in Baltimore, and then so I'm just like looking at myself in the mirror, like, oh my goodness. I probably be like, oh, this is mother. Like she looked different. What's going on with her face? I was like, I do not want to take no pictures. Like my face was like not good. Like I remember that day. I remember my son's first birthday. We had a Sesame Street thing. And I was just like, I don't want to be in nobody pictures. Like my face, my cheeks was red. I had like red bumps. And I say bumps, I mean like big bumps on my cheek. And I mean, it was just on both sides of my cheeks, tiny bumps on my cheek, dents. It was just like, oh my freaking goodness. Like, no. Oh, just thinking about that. So yeah, like I said, I went to work, face bleeding, band-aid. I had like three band-aids on one side of my face. The other one, man, uh, and I was in my mind like, let me, cause we had the mask before COVID even hit. Like I worked in the mailroom, so we had gloves and we had like the face mask and everything. So I was like, but that wasn't like a normal thing to be wearing. It was just like wear it, when you opening up some mail in the other kind of room or whatever. But I was like, shoot, I'm about to wear that. But I'm like, I don't want to be walking around the building with this mask on my face. It is like a government building. And I'm like, I don't want to be walking around with this mask on my face. Like, whatever going on with that lady? What's going on with her? Demitra, you all right? So I was like, man, I did not. And then so like I of course I go in, with my coworkers, I let them know. I ain't tell them like, well, I did tell them like, yeah man, these damn birth controls or something. First I didn't know it was the birth controls. I did not know it was the birth control pills. I thought it was like, I don't know what I thought it was. But the birth control thing was not on my mind to be like, oh, it's these birth control pills. Like that didn't come to my mind maybe until like December. But I'm just like, what? Like, and I started thinking back, like, what the heck did I do? Did I do something different? And I'm like, there's these damn birth control pills. So then I'm like, here we go again. It's always something when I'm doing some kind of unnatural thing to not give birth, to prevent me from getting pregnant. So I'm like, I got to stop taking these birth control pills. So sure enough, I think January, shoot, maybe even December of 2015 was the last time I took them birth control pills. Now, I still have the effects of it on my face because I still got like some dark spots and on and off. Some bumps probably show up and stuff like that. And I'm just like, and I'm not on no kind of birth control pill. I'm not on none of that. Don't have no IUD. Don't have no double shot. Don't have nothing in my arm. Don't have, no, don't need it, really, I don't need it. Wink, wink. But, so I'm like, I stopped taking it. So yeah, of course my face did end up getting better. And, I was even thinking about buying makeup. I was at stores, like asking, like going to the makeup section. and like asking some females that's in the makeup section at different stores, like, what name brand is good? I was looking into the CoverGirl. Um, by that time, what's her name? Queen Latifah. She had a line for like dark colored, females or whatever. So and I don't wear makeup, and I wouldn't even know how to put it on. But they did have like little things that was like open a little bit, like sample kind of the stuff. Excuse me, that you can just put on like your hand and test the shade out. So I was just like, wonder what I'm supposed to do with this. So in my mind, I'm like, if I get this product, I gotta get that one. Is this a concealer? Is this a like? I didn't know what to get. So I'm asking like different people. This is like on and off, maybe for like a month. Probably ask like two people within a month, different people about the makeup, like the ladies that's like in the makeup section that are my complexion. So I was like, you was probably looking at some L'Oreal or some other stuff, and I'm just like, so what is a good concealer? And they was like, huh? So I was like explaining to them, I got, this on my face and yada yada. It was like, well, you need to get this, you need to get that, and here goes some wipes, and then you probably need some alcohol, and I was putting alcohol on that stuff too, like when it be bleeding, like after it get dry or whatever, like I'll put some alcohol on it. But anyways, long story short, did I even buy makeup? No, I don't even think I bought this stuff. For one, I ain't really had no money to be spending on no damn concealer. For one, like I was on a budget, and for two, I'm just like, you know what, F it. I'm not going to be on this stuff now anyway, so my face will just clear up and then clear up. I don't know, but so yeah. So that's how like my face now. So even looking in the mirror, I'm like, oh, this is the birth control scars. You know how you go through stuff and it leaves scars, and then when you look at that scar, whether it's on your back, your hand, your leg. Well, I guess if it's on your back, you probably can't see it, but the back of your leg, how about that? Area when you can see a scar. And when you look at it, you know how you got that scar. You be like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember this incident. I got this because I fell off the bike. Or I remember this because I got this when I was fighting this person. Or I remember this because I was riding a motorcycle and this dude, yada, 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 whatever. So I'm like, I look in the mirror at my face and I'd be like, oh my goodness. I mean, like, listen, I'm not saying I'm ugly because I know I'm not. I'm just saying, like, when I be seeing some of this stuff on my face, I be like, man, damn birth control pills. So I be like, that's my lesson, Demitra. You don't supposed to take no birth control. No, no, no. So that's what I go by. I'm like, okay, I'm not taking no birth control. So yeah, like I said, the war marks is still on my face, but they come and go. Sometimes they be darker, sometimes they be lighter. I be trying to use some face wash and do all that, and sometimes the bumps still come. I'm just like, is it something I'm eating or what? But whatever. And I was looking into a video came across my time feed. I think this was Instagram, and they was doing like a chemical peel. Like somebody was doing a chemical peel on their face, and I'm like, ooh, chemicals. That's like might really f my face up. Like my whole freaking face might burn, or something, like I don't know, but I was like looking into it, like interesting, like curious, and I'm like, is that what I probably need, like a chemical peel? But I'm like, I don't want to put no chemicals nowhere. And I'm like, people gonna be like, Demetria, you ain't learned yet. Like, shoot, just do natural with your face, like just put some natural stuff on your face, just relax. So the chemical thing, like, nah, I think I'm good with that. But I probably just need to. But I know I need to detox. I know that because I mean detox. I 100% know that because my gut, my stomach, and I appreciate it. I appreciate my stomach. I always had a stomach since I was a little girl. Like I always had a pouch. Okay, so I don't want no six pack. I'm not looking for no six pack, no five pack, no four pack, no three pack. Maybe a one and a half. Okay, maybe I just I would like to see. I mean, I don't know. I just I don't know. It's like I need to be smaller than what it is now. But like I said, it don't need to be flat. I'm not. No, I don't want no flat ass stomach. Absolutely not. I know that's not natural, not for me anyway. I don't want no flat ass stomach. Give me, yes, I mean, I'll take a little tiny, like a little flab, but what I got working now is like, I don't know, but I just gotta own it. That's my thing. I'm like, Demetra, it's your body. It's like, you work with what you have, own up to it. Or if I don't like your workout and I'm trying to do that, when I say I'm trying to, I be laying down like, oh my goodness, I supposed to have did some sit ups today. And I'm like, I ain't even do sit ups today. Or I'll do it tomorrow. I can do 25 in the morning, do some sit ups, 25 push ups in the morning time, and then give it a break. And then throughout the day, do 10 here, 5 here, 10 there. I'm supposed to be doing that throughout the day. I'm supposed to been start doing that, but my black ass ain't do a damn thing. I ain't do a damn thing. But the funny thing about it is that when I be cleaning up, like I clean up every day, vacuum, do the dishes, clean the bathroom, I cook, I do all that, and I'm not complaining. Like it's fine, I do that. So and I be sweating like right when I get to vacuuming, like I clean the bathroom first or whatever. Then I go to vacuuming, the apartment or whatever. So by this time I get to vacuuming, maybe like 10 minutes in, I get to sweating. So I'm sweating, my underarms sweating. And of course, after this, I take a shower. Like after I finish cleaning up, I, take a shower or whatever. But I'm like starting to sweat. And this is like every single day. Okay. Every single day. So, I'm like, how come I'm still my same weight? So in my head, every time I be in the shower, like after I clean up, I be like, I'm freaking still my same weight. It feel like I ain't, lose no weight. And people talking about when you sweat, you lose some calories and you do this and and I'm like, I'm doing the same repetitions every day, bending over, running around with my daughter, vacuuming, cleaning. I'm like, this is active. Like I'm being active with my body. So then the scene from when I be thinking about this, and then every so often the scene from Karate Kid, the first Karate Kid, be coming in my mind, and it be like the part where Daniel's son, confront Mr. Miyagi and be like, look, and he's about to walk off because he's like, you supposed to be teaching me karate, but the only thing I'm doing, you got me washing and waxing your cars, painting your fences, doing this, sanding, all of this, and you supposed to be teaching me karate. You ain't teaching me nothing. I'm leaving. I'm done. So Mr. Miyagi was like, come over here. And then that scene when he tell him to do some moves with his hands and then they's actually karate moves the whole time. Like. So I was like, oh, that's tight. Of course, when I first seen the movie, I'm like, wow. And I know pretty sure everybody wanted to paint the fence, go around the neighborhood. You want your fence painted? But so I'm in my mind, I'm thinking like maybe this is it. Like somebody gonna be like vacuum the carpet, and then I'm gonna be moving my hand and my feet. Like, see, I don't know. Like that's how I be thinking. I'm like, it's something like, come on now. Like I'm be like, how come I'm not losing weight? What's the problem? Somebody gonna appear. Okay, Demetra. Um, what they say, wipe down the mirror, and I'm wiping down the mirror, and then they're like, okay, good, and then they do something to clean the toilet, do it, and I'm on my, getting down, rubbing the toilet, scrubbing the toilet or whatever, or wiping the toilet and stuff like that. Okay, vacuum the carpet. And then I'm going back and forth with the vacuuming the carpet, and all of this means something. And then it'll be like, see, and then I look up and I done lost all, the weight and whatever. Be like you only see what you want to see. Like Demetra, you been lost weight. Like you don't see it yet. Like that's how I be thinking. Like maybe I see myself differently from what other people see me. You know. It is funny, and with that commercial, well, it wasn't a commercial; it was a trailer. Now I was watching for the first RIPD. I think that's what it's called. RIPD. Um, it's a movie. They got part two, and they probably got some other parts. I watched part two like a year ago with the two ladies, but the trailer I watched for the first one, and then the trailer was like, even in the Matrix, the last Matrix movie, where excuse me, where when people see you as a different physical person than you see yourself. Like the guy in RIPD, like what was his name? He played on The Giver. Oh my goodness, the older white guy. Oh my goodness, his face is in my head. What is his name? And then his name just came. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, him, I can't think of his name right now, but he was the main character in The Giver. So he was in RIPD, and he's an older, man or whatever. So the dude was like, well, how do you look to outside people? And he looked like a female, with long hair and, a nice body or whatever. So that's how people see him. And his partner, he was, a regular white guy, and people seeing him as a short Asian guy. So, so I'm like, like do am I seeing myself? But they seeing themselves in their original way. Like they look in the mirror and they see them. They don't see the female, and he didn't see no short Asian guy. Only the outside people see that. See them looking like that. So I'm like, I mean, with me clean, and I'm talking about this been 3 years, y'all. I've been cooking, cleaning, vacuuming. Well, I'm gonna say the first year probably don't count because I was just like making snacks and desserts and all that. I was just like, shoot. But I'm gonna say the last 2 years, yeah, I'm like, come on, even going with the last year, like I've been vacuuming every day, sweating every day from vacuuming. Like, but anyways, moving forward, um, let me see. Moving forward, what time is it? Oh, this almost at an hour. So what? Okay, the contract. I'm gonna talk about the contract real quick, and then I'm gonna stop, and then probably get back on a little later. Let my phone charge. But the contract. This is about birth control. Okay. So after I had my son, Mercy Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland. Talked to my doctor, and this is before the IUD. Okay, this is before the IUD happened after this contract thing. So I went, talked to my doctor. My doctor was like, well, the IUD yet. I was like, no, no, no. This is before the IUD, okay? This is before the IUD. So he was like, well, you can do the surgery to, what you call that? To, no, hysterectomy, that's for men. The, no, that's for female. And what is that? Spade and neutered, spade and a hysterectomy. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Oh, that's for guys. What is a female? Well, whatever the female gets done, so she cannot have any more children. Tubes tied. There you go. Thank you. Tubes tied. So my doctor was like, well, you can get. Is that the name of it? Is that what it's called? It tubes tied. I think it's a specific name for it, but basically you getting your tubes tied and you won't have no more children. Like that's it. You getting them tied, burnt, snip, whatever. You just done with children. That's your final child. No more children for you. Unless a miraculous pregnancy, but technically no more children for you. So I'm like, and this is my fourth son, okay, and I want to say, all my pregnancies this far, it was not like it was healthy pregnancies. Like for me, my children was healthy. I was healthy throughout the pregnancy. I had a few hiccups and stuff, but overall, the pregnancy was fine. Like I wasn't high diabetic or this and that or preeclampsia or none of that. Everything was cool. But far as the relationships with a dad, that was the fucked up part in just about all of the situations. Yeah, when like all of my pregnancies was not good to my standard, how I thought, oh, a woman is pregnant and this is how the dad is going to be treating her. No, none of that happened with me. So I have not had an experience. I have not had an experience where I'm pregnant with the guy and me and the guy are together and we want to be with each other. And we got supportive people, but even if we didn't have supportive people, we supporting each other. It was like, hey, I have not had a pregnancy when, no, no, like when the togetherness, no, I have not had that. So during that time with my son, this is, say I only had four sons at the time. My daughter wasn't born yet, and her pregnancy is included in that previous statement that I was just talking about. So I had four sons at the time. Just gave birth to my son Melvin. So the doctor was like, well, tubes tied, yada yada yada. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Like that was my route because I was just thinking about the the relationship when I was pregnant with my son, the relationship with me and his dad, how that was a effed up situation. He basically said F you and F the baby, and I just went through this pregnancy by myself without him. Yes, he was there for the birth. Yes, he was there for the first appointment to confirm I was pregnant. He was there about the sex to know we was having a boy or girl. I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. And that's basically like all, like I'm cool with that because I'm like, you ain't need to come to all of my appointments no way. And he wasn't going to come no way. So I'm cool with the times that he showed up with. I'm not saying, oh, he could have been there throughout all my doctor's appointments. Absolutely not. Why would you come to my appointment to see how much I weigh and check? Like, no, you good. So the times he showed up at the doctor's and he was there for the birth, cool. I'm just talking about throughout the pregnancy. That was like a no show, no go. Like once in a while he would text me, whatever. Like, no. So I was on it by myself. Struggling, man, that's a whole nother video with that pregnancy. When I say I be crying because I was struggling with the food and the gas. It took me like 2 hours to get to work. That's like $100 a week for gas going back and forth from Waldorf, Maryland to Baltimore. And then I ain't even had no food. I mean, no money to get no food. Man, like so much freaking stuff. I be like crying. Like I cried in the bed. That's a whole nother different story. I'm not even gonna talk about that pregnancy. But I will tell you one thing about the food though. One particular time, this is when I was pregnant with my son. I was like on a budget because I ain't really had no money. Like when I say paycheck to paycheck, paycheck to freaking paycheck. Okay. So, and I was staying with my mom, and I still was struggling with the freaking, like, what the heck? And I be thinking about that too. Like, how in the world I'm not paying rent, but I'm still freaking struggling with, with money. Like, what am I spending it on? And I think it was just gas, like $400 a month for gas and car insurance and car note, man. But anyways, this one particular time, yeah, it's almost at an hour. I ain't even talk about the damn contract. Okay, I'm gonna just get back on in like 30 minutes or so to talk about the contract. But I'm gonna finish with this about the food. So one incident when I was pregnant with my son Melvin. Now I remember paycheck to paycheck, so I did not have no freaking money to be spending to freaking even eat. And I'm just like, and believe me, I asked his dad. Mind you, didn't want me to have the baby at all. He didn't even want me to go through with the pregnancy. So in my mind, I'm like, I can't even really ask him for no food or ask for anything because he ain't even want me to have the baby. So how am I going to ask him, hey, can you buy me some food? Can you give me a couple of dollars, go get some food or to get me some pregnancy clothes? Like I don't have no money to get all this. And I'm like, I could ask him, but at the same time, it's like he didn't want me to have it. He would have been like, well, mind you, I didn't ask him. So this is all in my head. Like, oh, he would have been like, well, I told you not to have the baby anyway. So don't be asking me for you to buy, pregnancy clothes. And don't be asking for me to give you some money so you can eat for two. Like, no, whatever. So I ain't ask him. Um, Actually, no. One time I did ask him. You know what? That's a whole nother different. One time I asked him for some money, and I told him I needed some money, yada yada yada. Even for gas or just for food or something. So when I went to his job, and this was after a doctor's appointment, I went to his job, which was right down the street from Mercy Hospital. And then he was like, oh, well, why you ain't tell me you had a doctor's appointment? I'm like, nigga, you wasn't going to go no way. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay. So I was like, well, I said something about the money. Like, in mind you, I asked them, like, previous. Like, hey, because he was like, I could have took off, earlier and whatever and took you and went to the hospital with you, then came back to work. I was like, you know, you wasn't going to do that. But anyways, I showed up at his job and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm here to get the money. Probably was like $20 or something. I was like, yeah, I'm here to get some money, you whatever, to go get some food. Remind you, I asked him about this. I already gave him the heads up, maybe like a day or two ahead of time. So, and then so he was like, he came to the car and I was like, okay, the money. He was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the money. And I think I had to take him to the bank because he ain't even had the money. Or, no, that was a separate time. That's when he needed some. I don't know, but I know when he got in the car, he was like he don't have it. But then when he pulled it out, I think he gave me like $10. I think. I don't know. We can ask him, see that he remember. That'd be a later date. Like ask him, did he remember that when I showed up? I told him I was at his job, and he knew that I was coming because he knew I just got finished with the doctor's appointment. But anyways, getting back to the food real quick. One particular day, I was so freaking hungry, mind you, paycheck to paycheck. My car was probably almost on E, and it was probably like on a Thursday or Wednesday or something, and we didn't get paid till Friday, but almost on E. But anyways, I was freaking hungry in the morning time. I came to work and I was like counting coins, counting change. Because where I worked at is a government building. They have a cafeteria, hot food, cold food, tables, lawn area. You can sit outside and eat, like all of that. A nice, nice cafe, nice cafeteria, real food. So, I normally probably get like a thing of oatmeal. The cup of oatmeal that I would used to get would be like a medium sized cup of oatmeal, and I would eat half for breakfast and then save the rest for lunch. Like heat it back up in the microwave and eat the rest for lunch. Like that's how I was doing it when I was pregnant with my son Melvin, because I did not have no freaking money for food. So, but getting back, let me try to finish this damn story about the day for the food. Goodness. Okay, so one day I'm coming to work and then I'm like, I ain't even had no change, no nothing to get a damn cup of oatmeal, okay? And I'm just like, I'm so freaking hungry. What I'm gonna do throughout the day? Like, what the heck? I'm like, I don't got no noodles, I don't, whatever. But I'm just like, all right, Demetria, you got these bottles of water and you got these crackers. I think I had some Ritz crackers. And I'm like, I got these Ritz crackers and I got this bottle of water that will have to do me throughout the day. I ain't gonna ask nobody for no money. Like I ain't asking nobody, hey, you got some extra food? You think like no, I wasn't like no, I wasn't comfortable, even though it was my coworkers and stuff like that. But at the time, me being pregnant and asking somebody that's not my child's father, like even my female coworkers, like asking them, do you got any extra food? Do you think you can give me $5? Can I borrow $5 to go to the cafeteria to get some food? Or can you go to the cafeteria and give me some food? Like I did not want to ask nobody that when I'm pregnant. Like that was like a moral thing to me. Like it would be like, damn, you pregnant by some dude that don't even freaking want to feed his child. What is this? Oh, I'm at 15%. Let me get my black ass off this thing. But okay, so this is the story, and then of course I have to end. So this particular day came to work like no money. I'm hungry, like whatever. I'm sitting at my desk, and I was just thinking like, oh my goodness. I'm talking to my baby like, we have to just string it out. Like when we get home, your grandma going to be cooking, and everything going to be good, and we'll have some food to eat for dinner. Like we'll just eat a lot for dinner, whatever. When we get over my mom's house, get back home. So I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I can go through this day. Hey, I know I'm not the first the woman to go through this, but unfortunately, I know I probably wasn't the last. So while I'm sitting at my desk, it's the morning time. While Mr. Kearney, oh my goodness, thank you, Mr. Kearney, came over to my desk and he said, Demitra, I got an extra sandwich from Panera Bread. It's like something white, egg whites and such and such. Would you like it? And I'm like, oh, sure. Of course, I got to play it off like, okay, sure. And you not going to eat it? He was like, no, I got an extra one. They put an extra one in the bag, and I just asked for one. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll eat it. I'm trying to play it off cool, but my mom was like, oh my goodness, thank you, Jesus. Oh my goodness. And I just freaking was crying. Like, I was crying in inside, y'all. Like, I'm about to cry now. Because that was like a blessing. I'm like, you did not know. Like, I was freaking, didn't have nothing to eat. And then he came with that sandwich. And he was like, they just put an extra one in the bag. And I was just like, thank you. And I ate that thing. And that, like, that nurtured my baby. And I was just like, even if I don't eat anything, the food I eat first goes to my child, goes to my baby. Like, I think that's how it works. So whenever you eat, the baby eat it first, and then the mama eat, get taste of the food. So I'm like, my baby ate. But anyways, let me get off of here. Why in the world? Oh, goodness, how am I freaking in this video while I'm crying? Okay, but I'm gonna get back on here. I guess I don't know, 30 minutes or so. I don't know. Maybe before that, I probably just come back, put my phone on the charger, and then just talk. I don't know, but whatever. Okay, bye.